Hello everyone. I slept a lot more last night than I usually do. About 9.5 hours. I hope that comes through. I certainly can see it on my face and all of that. I'm also not in front of the sun or with the sun bearing down on me, and I'm with this shade. And I also brought notes this time. Keep me a little more on track. Things I thought about throughout the day that I've reflected on that I want to make a point to share with myself. I do think ultimately what this comes down to is me making these videos for myself, which is something I don't think I understood yesterday. And it is something I better understand now. It is something that ultimately, I'm sorry, I haven't been present in this. Too much going around. These videos are for me. So if I want to make videos that I would want to see, I have to talk about the things that I would talk to myself. And ultimately, this is what I've been doing by myself for a long time now. This is things that I would speak to at night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I would make these videos just for myself, and I wouldn't share them. And I think ultimately, while that did loosen the pickle jar, so to speak, as to my reawakening, it is not the same as this. Because this is a not better, but more full way of experiencing what I want. What I feel I want. I apologize, I'm very much not on track, but I do have notes. I remembered notes. Let me see. I think I realized today that there's a possibility that I may not actually be an introvert like I always thought I was. Like, very much all the time. I would be afraid of being in situations around people for basically my entire life. As far back as I can remember. I'm talking 6, 7 years old, maybe not that early, but certainly around 3rd grade, whatever age you are when you're in 3rd grade. And I would just be scared all the time to be in interactions. And I don't know if I had a name for what that was, but I think now I'm seeing that for most of my life, I had been creating a character that I wanted to present to the world. And ultimately, that was not true, because there only is one self. There's us. So whenever I would try to embody that character, there was always a limited amount of time. And then once that was over, I would huddle back to wait until I had rehearsed for the next showtime. That's what I really visualized it as today. Was there is a theater that I would perform And there would be show times at noon, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. But the rest of the time it was all rehearsal. So I would have things I prepared to say, points that I thought people would think were cool or were funny that I would say to get jokes, to get laughs, to like get social points, imaginary social points. And then when I ran out, I was completely alone because I never was okay with being alone with my thoughts, which now I think I very much am, which is spectacular. So to my point, it's very possible now that I am able to be a truer version of myself, every day getting a little bit more true. I do think that maybe I'm not an introvert at all, and I've just been telling myself that, and I just have never truly been myself with others. And that's not entirely true, because there are some people, truly a handful, I'm talking maybe 5 people in my life, that it was like, oh, I know I can be myself, I know who I am, and I know that they don't judge me because they see me for me. In the way I'm speaking now, I could speak like this to them, because in a lot of ways I did always know all of this was true about me. I saw the face of truth, and I knew what the face of truth was. I don't think I really accepted that, and I could talk about it, and I could list like facts. There's a difference between listing facts and understanding. So I could list off these facts and not feel uncomfortable around these few friends, because they could also speak the language even if they didn't understand, or they didn't they understood, I think. Or if they didn't, I guess they wanted to. And they at least, it was evident they were making an attempt to learn the language that I spoke, which I think is more than most people that I've met do. So maybe now that those people who were extroverts that made the effort to talk to me are my friends, maybe I can now be that for others, and I can find that in others as well. Because I do think this is ultimately what this leads to. There needs to be a greater thing here.
I'm going over here. I know, I'm going to get the bag!
I also noticed that since everything happened to me, I am a lot more I've been kinder without trying, or without expectation is maybe a better way to say it. Because I think I always was expecting something, even if outwardly I never would, or like I would hold doors for people, and I would do things for people, and they would say thank you, and I'd say, oh, it's no problem, it's no problem. But I was doing that realistically just for me, so I felt better about myself, so I could tell myself, you did this good thing, that makes you a good person, that gives you more value. And I think that ultimately hurt me, because whenever I chose not to do that, because ultimately that was a selfish choice to do things to make myself feel better like that, whenever I would not, it would just hurt even more. It would send me even more in a spiral, downward. But today, And this is small. And this is like, you may not care, but sorry, I'm losing this again. Okay, but I noticed that there was this, I was doing kind deeds without noticing. I would hold the door, they would say thank you, and I would say no problem. And it wasn't until when I was like walking back to my car that I even realized that I did that. Like there was no conscious decision to do that, where there always was before, which makes me wonder, like, now I'm in more of a flow state. Magic on autopilot is what I had written down in my notes. Magic on autopilot. And I'm so young. There's so much time to grow more. If this is what I can do now, imagine what happens weeks, days, years, decades, lifetimes from now. Imagine what I could do. I think that's fantastic. I think that is magical. I think that's magical. I'm also noticing that it's very difficult for me to stay in the moment, as you're seeing in this. I believe there's a soccer or football practice happening, and I'm feeling anxiety about knowing that they're watching me, wondering why I'm sitting, propping my phone up cross-legged at the bleachers while just talking to myself. And I'm trying to not, but it is taking me out. And I'm trying to get back in more. And I do think that is the problem, is because every time I keep trying to do this, every time I'm trying to like grasp this, like grasping water, it doesn't stick. It falls through your hands. You can't grasp it. You just have to let it wash over you. I don't know if you've ever been in the shower and the water's like coming down off of your hair and you do like a little prayer hands, begging hands. And you let the water just like seep into it. It's like you've got the bowl, like there's a little bowl of water you have, but still you can't really keep it fully closed because eventually the water does fall. You need to let it wash over you. I need to try to do better at that. I will try to do better at that. I will do better at that because I can. That's it right there. I can do better. Going to do better. That's so fun. That's so fun knowing. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Let's see. I guess the final thing that I had was a thought that I had as I was leaving a grocery store today. And every once in a while things will just pop into my head, and I used to think they would be funny or whatever, and they are sometimes, and sometimes they're like, well, where did that come from? But it is important to reflect on that, I'm noticing, because what happened was the ending monologue from the movie Scrooged. If you haven't seen it, I think it's very prescient, at least to me at this moment, and maybe to you if you haven't seen it either. But at the end of it, Bill Murray's character gives a speech, and it popped into my head as I was walking. I wasn't really even thinking about it, but it just popped in, and then I just like played it over in my head over like the course of 2 seconds. I was like, oh, that's it. That's what happened. That's what happened. So I wrote it out, and I want to read that. I'm not crazy. It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year where we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We cheer a little more. For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people we always hoped we would be. It's a miracle. It's really a sort of miracle because it happens every Christmas Eve. And if you waste that miracle, you're going to burn for it. I know what I'm talking about. You have to do something. You have to take a chance. You have to get involved. There are people that are having trouble making their miracle happen. There are people that are having trouble making their miracle happen. There are people that don't have enough to eat. There are people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, oh, by the way, here. I get it now. I get it now. And if you give, it can happen. The miracle can happen to you. Not just the poor and the hungry, it's everyone that has to have the miracle. If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen. And then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. And don't be one of those bastards that says Christmas is only once a year and it's fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just gotta want the feeling. And if you like it and you want it and you're greedy,
go along and I'll get you.
you just gotta want that feeling. And if you like it and you want it, you'll get greedy for it. You'll want it every day of your life and it can happen to you. I believe in it now. I believe it's going to happen to me now. I'm ready for it. It's great.
Why you punch it?
It's a good feeling. It's a really better feeling than I've felt in a long time. I'm ready. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.